What is going on, guys? JT, I am the tie, coming at you with another narrated Wi-Fi battle today. I want to give you guys something to hold you over for the weekend. I think Friday. I think today's probably going to be Friday. I don't know when this video is going to be up. I'm assuming it's going to be up on Friday, but I'm going to be bouncing in and out of the house because I am moving some furniture and some other stuff down to San Diego for my new apartment that I'm renting out with a friend. And on Saturday, I'm going to be watching Harry Potter, so I may or may not be on Skype. I'm going to try to be on Skype. But anyway, you guys came to see a match, right? We got a match here today against HP1. You can tell by the length of the video, he is running a stall team, and I realized that this match is about 2 or 3 months old. I found it on my computer the other day, and I was like, why did I not narrate it? And then I looked at the length and I was like, that is why. But I feel like this is a good thing to hold you guys over for the weekend, and without further ado, let's get this thing started. By the way, HP1 has been battling since the beginning of Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, because I saw him in a match against the Killer Nacho a really long time ago. But anyway, T-Tar against the Crobat. I'm faster than a Choice Curve T-Tar, and I'm fearing the Stone Edge. So I'm going to go for the U-turn, just in case he goes for the Stone Edge. He goes into a Scarm, so I want to scare that guy away immediately. I'm going to go into a Heatran. Now, I don't know if he has his own Heatran, so I'm predicting him to go into his Heatran, so I go into a Vaporeon, and he goes into a Tentacruel, so that kind of sucks. I don't want him to get multiple layers of Toxic Spikes. I do have a Rapid Spinner in Donphan, but if he gets up 2 layers of Toxic Spikes and Donphan comes in, then he's going to be Toxic Poison, and that means Donphan's not going to be as useful to me, even if I have a Wish Passer. So I'm going to go into Crobat, because I know I can go ahead and taunt him after he gets that first layer of Toxic Spikes up, but he can hit me with an Ice Beam, so he makes a prediction, and that's a good play on his part. It does a lot more than I was expecting, though, because it turns out he's actually Life Orb. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, he only did about half damage. And, obviously I can roost away my Flying type. So if he's going to go for the Ice Beam again in an attempt to kill me off, because it looks like he's running a little bit of a stall team, Crobat is kind of threatening to his team. He's going to go for the Ice Beam again. I take that really well. And factoring in that Sandstorm and the Life Orb recoil, I can actually wear down the Tentacruel this way. So I feel pretty safe in this regard. I know if he goes for another Ice Beam, factoring in the Sandstorm damage and a Brave Bird damage that I can possibly do to him, I could probably kill the Tentacruel, so that's what I'm going to go for. But he goes into a Zapdos. Now, I'm sitting here looking at the Zapdos, and obviously I have to be fearing the Thunderbolt in this scenario. The thought of HP Ice didn't even cross my mind, and the reason why it didn't was because I've run into 5 Sub-Roost Zapdos in a row, because that is probably the most popular set in the metagame right now. But I'm going to go into my Gliggles, and he's kind of a gimmicky Gliscor. I think you've seen him against Poke-Aim MD, but this was like 2 or 3 months ago before I even managed to showcase him. But I'm going to go for the Stone Edge, and I missed 2 times in a row, and I realized that even though I missed, it still took away 4 PP, and I only have 8. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I really want to take this Zapdos out. I hate Zapdos so much, but I'm going to go for the Stone Edge, and he switches in a Scarm. I am down to 3 PP on the Stone Edge, so I have just 2 attacks against the Zapdos that I have left. But the only real answer I have to the Scarm is my Heatran. So I'm going to go into my Heatran. I'm going to go for the Fire Blast, because I don't think he has a Heatran. Otherwise he would have switched it in on the first go, right? But he has the next best thing. He has a Gardevoir with the Trace ability. So I have to be fearing a Focus Blast in this scenario. So I go out into my Gliscor just in case, and he goes for a Future Sight, and I'm like, well, that's pretty interesting. Now I don't know what he wants to do. I figure that he's probably going to switch, but I'm Scarfed, so I'm just going to go for the U-turn. I'm going to maintain my switch initiative. He goes into a Cresselia, so I'm like, I'm going to go into a Scizor. I don't know if what he might be running on this particular Cresselia, but it should be able to scare it away. I don't know if I want to pursuit him at this point in the match, but he has a Psycho Shift, so I'm thinking, well, he might want to stay in and try to Psycho Shift me, and because I have the speed investment, I'm going to be able to outspeed him before he can Psycho Shift over the burn. So I'm going to go for the U-turn, just in case, and he just flat out switches, so that kind of sucks. But in comes the Zapdos, and of course, I got the Gliscor out here, because I really want to hit him with a Stone Edge, but I really thought that was too obvious. I thought he was going to switch back in the Scarm, so I went for a U-turn, and he stayed in. So I was sitting there, I was like, is he just going to go for a Toxic again? I go into Crobat, but he goes for a Heat Wave. I think he was predicting, I don't think he'd be predicting Scizor to come back in, so because that's not a very good matchup for me. But I'm going to go for the U-turn, because obviously I am fearing the Thunderbolt, and I feel like I don't want to risk the critical hit with the T-Bolt, so I go into Gliscor to take that T-Bolt very nicely. Obviously he's immune to it, so I'm going to go ahead, go for the Stone Edge, because I really want to take the Zapdos out, but I don't have entry hazards up, so I cannot kill the Zapdos yet. And in comes the Scarm again. I am down to 2 PP on Stone Edge, and if I run out of Stone Edge PP, I'm going to have such a hard time with the Zapdos. That's what it boils down to. I need to get the entry hazards up. I go into my Donphan in that scenario, and he roars me. Thankfully he roars me out into Heatran, but I think Vaporeon would have been a pretty good switch in as well in that scenario. But I'm going to go for the Earth Power, because I know he has the Gardevoir now, and I'm looking at the damage that it does. I'm like, okay, well, you're especially defensive, because that did practically nothing. I'm still fearing the Focus Blast in this scenario, and Heatran is Life Orb, so I don't want him to take too much damage. I'm going to go into Crobat, just in case he goes for that Focus Blast, because I quad resist it, and he goes for a Charm. You know, obviously I'm not expecting a T-Bolt in that scenario. But at this point, I'm still fearing the possible Thunderbolt or the Ice Beam, so I think I'm just going to go for the U-turn right here, because I'm just kind of scouting to see what the rest of his set is. He goes back into a Zapdos, and you know, obviously I want to try. I'm really hoping I can kill this Zapdos so badly. And you know, I mean, he's wearing himself down because he's taking Sandstorm damage every single turn. I'm going to go for the Stone Edge, and now I have 1 PP left on Stone Edge, and he's got the stupid Scarm that can only be answered by my Heatran. But I figured that the Heatran switch would be too obvious. I was worried about him going into Tentacruel, so I go out into Crobat, because I feel like I can, you know, I can roost up, I can do different things against Tentacruel in that scenario. But he starts spamming Roar, and I really thought that he was going to switch out fearing the Fire Blast in this scenario. So I go back into Gliscor, predicting Gardevoir to come out this time, and he goes for the Roar again. So I was like, man, I had the chance to take out Skarmory right there, and I was not able to capitalize. But you know, obviously you guys can tell by the length of the video, we have not been able to dent each other because that is the way stall matches work. But anyway, I got a Roost going on here. I was debating whether I should go for the Taunt first or the Roost, but I was at too low of HP to think that any move that he could have done, I think he would have been able to take me out, you know, factoring in the Sandstorm damage. But I think he shows me Aerial Ace, and I'm like, well, that's great, because I can actually sit in on you all day then, because the difference between Brave Bird's base power and Aerial base power is huge, especially in the 4th gen metagame. So I know I can sit in on the Skarmory all day, and I know he can be forced to switch because he can't get the spikes up anymore. So I mean, every single person I've seen on his team pretty much has utility, so I'm going to go for the Taunt again, and here comes the Tentacruel. I think he was hoping to get the some Toxic spikes up, and I'm just going to U-turn, because obviously I am thinking, I can't really do anything to the Tentacruel. I could probably go, I could spam the Brave Bird, but he could definitely switch into Skarm in that scenario, so I just go for the U-turn. And finally, I get a chance to switch in my Donphan. I'm thinking he's probably just going to go for the Roar right here, just to get my Donphan away, but you know, I think getting Rocked Up is even more important than spinning away anything right now. But he sets up entry hazards, more entry hazards, and I'm like, well, I'm a freaking Donphan, I can spin them away, right? So I'm just going to go for the Rapid Spin, and I'm feeling really comfortable now. I think I blew away 3 layers of spikes and 1 layer of Toxic spikes, so all of a sudden, I have the advantage in entry hazards, whereas he had the advantage throughout the first, like 7 minutes of the match. So I'm going to switch because I can't touch him, he can't really touch me. It's pretty much a stalemate, except for I'm being worn down by poison damage. So I'm going to go into Vaporeon, because I thought that the Heatran switch would be a little bit too obvious. I can hit him with an HP Electric here, I can hit him with a Surf, but I definitely want to get the Wish up. I mean, Heatran is around half health. I think Gliscor is around half health as well. Crobat could definitely use the Wish, and you know, there's so many guys that can use the Wish, and he has someone who can spam, he can phase people away. Most people spam the Roar when they see the Wish, so I'm going to predict him to do the dirty work for me. I'm going to hit him with a Surf as he roars me out into one of the guys that needs it. That worked out perfectly, so I'm feeling really confident in that move right there. I'm actually really proud of myself right there. But obviously I got the Donphan and the Skarmory out. That's probably the most useless switch that could have happened right there, because I can't do anything to the Skarm. So he's going to continue to set up entry hazards. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to Rapid Spin them away then. I don't think I have PP, I don't think I have a max PP in the Rapid Spin though, if I think about it. So he might. I don't remember how many PP Spikes has, but maybe he might be able to stall me out. I hope that's not his plan though, because that means that match could go on for like another 4 hours. But I'm going to go into Crobat because I know I want to taunt him. I want to prevent him from getting spikes up. And as long as he has Aerial Ace, he's not going to be able to do anything to this Crobat because it's just not going to hit hard enough. You know, obviously looking at that damage, 196 to I think to 139, even with the Sandstorm damage, it's just not enough to take out Crobat. I'm going to be able to go for the Roost, and Crobat is causing all hell for his team. Crobat is just a really cool stall breaker. I don't know why I wanted to use Crobat. Like, I was going to do a team tutorial building video for you guys, but I feel like it'd be kind of useless because my thought process making one of the teams before was just that I wanted to use a Crobat. That was like the first thing that popped into my mind, but anyway, I got the Heatran out here against the Skarm. I want to scare him away. I don't know if he's going to be predicting the Fire Blast in this scenario, so I don't know if he's going to switch into the Gardevoir, so I'm thinking I'm going to go for the Earth Power. He chooses to fodder out the Zapdos. I don't think that Zapdos could have taken another turn of Sandstorm damage, so that might be the reason why. But he goes into Cresselia, and because he's a half damage and I'm Life Orb, and Heatran is so powerful. I mean, he does like more than half damage to a Clefable that's specially defensive, but is not able to take out a Cresselia. He's able to get the Sleep off or get the Rest off. And obviously, I know that I think he's a Psycho Shifter because I saw the burn. So I know he can be Psycho Shifting over the Sleep. I don't know if he's running like an MTG Xerxes thing where he has Solar Beam in the 4th slot. So I don't know if Psycho Shift has a higher chance of shifting over the Sleep. I was looking at my team and I was like, Crobat can go to bed. It's not that big of a deal because I don't think Cresselia can do anything to Crobat, especially if it's running Solar Beam or something like that, like Xerxes. It can't, Skarmory can't do anything to Crobat as well, and I mean, like, there's just a lot of things that can't do a whole lot to Crobat. So I mean, Crobat has a chance to stay in here, see if he can wake up. He switches in the T-Tar though, and I'm like, well, that's kind of interesting. I don't know what he wants to do in that scenario. I don't think he's banded, so I'm gonna go into my Gliscor to take the possible Stone Edge, and he sets up a Dragon Dance, and that works out fine for me. I mean, obviously I'm Scarfed, so I'm gonna see if I can hit him with an Earthquake, but he makes a nice switch. He goes into Cresselia. You know, unfortunately, I really haven't been able to do too much to him. I'm gonna be forced to switch. You know, I have to be expecting the burn in this scenario, so I actually go out into Crobat again, figuring I can probably burn off a turn of sleep. And then obviously he can't really do anything to me, so really what I'm trying to decide is, you know, when I wake up, what do I want to do? Do I want to go for the Roost? I don't think I need to, because I'm at a really healthy amount of HP. He's playing very defensively, and not to mention, because he's got a Psycho Shift and Cress, I can shut him down with a Taunt. So I'm trying to wake up. I keep on clicking Taunt. I'm just tapping the button, tapping Taunt, and I'm gonna keep on trying to Psycho Shift over the Sleep. I think that's kind of dangerous. I think he could have potentially broke Sleep Claws right there, but that's no big deal. I didn't switch in that scenario, so no harm, no foul. And I finally wake up on, I think, like the 3rd or the 4th turn, and he's not able to get the Sleep Talk off anymore. That Cresselia is shut down, and now looking at it, I'm thinking, well, he's going to have to switch in this scenario, right? Because the Cresselia can't flat out do anything to me, so I'm going to go for the Taunt, predicting a switch again, and he goes for an Ice Beam, and I was like, well, okay. That's not going to be doing too much damage, but he gets to freeze. I was like, well, damage done. Crobat can't do anything in this battle anymore, but Crobat was doing so much work. I forget if I took out one person in his team, but obviously, Stall is very dependent on all 6 of the guys being alive. Like, the moment you take out one piece, Stall tends to fall apart, which I kind of hope that you guys are kind of catching the drift of in this video. You got Scizor out against a Gardevoir. I don't know if I want to go for the Pursuit just to finish him off immediately, or continue to maintain my initiative by going for the U-turn here. So I decided I'm just going to go for the U-turn. I can go into Heatran. He can switch into Gardevoir in this scenario, but the Gardevoir can't take 2 Earth Powers, right? So I'm thinking he's not going to want to do that switch, and the Skarmory is such a pain in the ass. I'm going to go for the Fire Blast, see if I can take the Skarmory out, see if he's just going to spam Roar again like he did earlier on in the match. But he switches into the Cresselia, and that actually works out really, really nicely for me, because factoring in the burn damage and the Sandstorm damage, I am finally able to take out the Psycho Shifting Cress, which is really, really hard to do. But he goes into Tentacruel, and he makes a double switch, predicting me to predict that Water move, I believe, which is a good play on his part. He switches out into Gardevoir, and now I got Vaporeon out against Gardevoir. I can't do anything to Gardevoir because I know that that's especially defensive set, so I know he's going to go for the Wish in this scenario. I can't kill him with a Surf, so I'm just going to go for a Wish of my own. You know, there's multiple people I want to pass out into. Heatran is numero uno, because he's still got the Skarm, and there's really not a whole lot of options I have if Heatran is dead, because then I'm going to be relying on Vaporeon to take out a Skarmory, which is kind of sad. So I'm going to go ahead switch into Gliscor, because I thought he'd be predicting the Heatran to come out. It turns out that's exactly what he did, because he goes into a Tentacruel, and you know, obviously because Tentacruel needs a Wish, and it also would have a dominant matchup on Heatran if I were to pass out into him. But I switched out into Gliscor because I thought that my switch would have been a little bit too obvious, and you know, he's going to be fearing the Earthquake in this scenario, so I'm going to predict the switch, and I'm going to go for the U-turn. He switches in the Gardevoir, and I have just taken down the Wish Passer. I took down his special wall, and I am feeling really, really good about my chances right now. Gardevoir is down. I believe that's 3 members of his team, if I recall correctly. It might be 3 or it might be 2. But you know, if he lost like his physical wall and his special wall, he's in a lot of trouble. He got a Tentacruel out here, and I'm thinking about switching into someone. Obviously, Crobat can't do anything to this guy anymore, so he can't set up a Taunt. He might want to set up some Toxic Spikes, but I have a Rapid Spinner, so that would be no good. And he's got the Life Orb, and he has the Sandstorm working against him, so if I hit him with an HP Electric, he's going to die eventually. So he's going to go for the Surf. I think he was predicting a switch in that scenario, but I don't switch because I really feel like the Vaporeon can finish off that Tentacruel one-on-one, especially since it's an offensive Tentacruel. And I'm looking really, really good all of a sudden. He got a Tyranitar left, I believe, and he has a Skarmory left, both of which should be handled pretty easily by Vaporeon, barring a critical hit on a Stone Edge as he sets up a Dance. So I'm going to go see if I can do as much damage as possible. I know that I still have Gliscor to check this guy, even if he gets a crit with a Stone Edge. So, I believe that's going to wrap up the game. Obviously, he's going to go for the Stone Edge, but it's going to do, I think it's about 2/3, which I was actually baffled by, because I did way more than I was expecting, but I'm able to take out the T-Tar. No way that the Skarmory's going to be able to win the game on his own, especially because even if he tries to spam the throw up multiple layers of spikes and then spam roar. Because I got the Heatran and because I got Rapid Spin and Donphan, there's not a whole lot he can do. So that's going to wrap up the game, and that is a doozy of a battle, and I hope you guys were able to stay tuned for that entire thing. I hope the narration was pretty good. It's really, really long. I think I'm going to need to go get myself a glass of water after this, but if you guys enjoyed that video, definitely feel free to click the like button. I know it's a really long video. I know not all of you are going to be able to sit through and watch that, but if you are able to, I just wanted to showcase a match where someone actually was able to do something against Stahl. I feel like I watch so many videos right now, and Stahl is really handling the job. So I just wanted to do something where the regular team is able to strike back, if I can make a reference to Star Wars or something like that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. More Final Fantasy VII LP stuff to come. I hope you guys are enjoying that for like the small group of you that were able to watch that. I really enjoyed recording it, and it's in such good quality. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm going to catch you guys another time. Bye.